Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a massive cultural vibe shift happening right now in the American sports landscape. We're looking at how soccer has evolved into an absolute phenomenon, especially for Gen Z. It's a total transformation driven by digital natives, changing demographics, and entirely new ways of consuming entertainment.
So let me kick things off with a question. Did you know a huge, historic shift just happened in American sports? For decades, the sports hierarchy in the U.S. felt completely set in stone. But right now, things have completely flipped, and honestly, the numbers are pretty wild.
Just take a look at this recent data from The Economist. American football is still the undisputed king at 36%, with basketball sitting comfortably in second at 17%. But look who's in third place. Soccer has officially taken the number 3 spot with a solid 10%, actually pushing baseball, America's traditional pastime, down to 9%. This isn't just a statistical blip, guys. It's a clear reflection of a changing America.
Section 1, the 1990s turning point.
To really understand the hype today, we have to look back at the foundational moments of the 90s. It all started in 1994 when the US hosted the Men's World Cup, shattering attendance records that literally still stand today. That incredible success directly led to the launch of Major League Soccer, or MLS, in 1996. And then we had the cultural earthquake of 1999, the U.S. women's national team winning the World Cup in front of over 90,000 fans at the Rose Bowl. Generational stars like Mia Hamm showed the entire country that soccer could be a massive, proud American moment.
Moving on to Section 2, the digital generation takeover.
The old way of watching soccer meant sitting down for a rigid 90-minute TV broadcast. But research from Rutgers University shows that for Gen Z, it's all about surround sound content. Today's fans are experiencing the sport through bite-sized TikTok highlights, Instagram Reels, and even metaverse games like Soccer Arena on Roblox. You don't even have to watch a full match on TV anymore to feel totally connected to the players, the fashion, and the overall culture of the sport.
Now, here is a truly mind-blowing fact. According to the Harris Poll, a staggering 70% of new Gen Z fans say social media is the primary reason for their interest in soccer. To put that in perspective, for the general population, that number is only 55%. What this means is that the algorithm is literally acting as a new scout and recruiter for soccer fans in America.
Have you ever played EA Sports FC? You know, what we all used to call FIFA? Well, the data shows that 51% of fans actually played soccer video games last year. And why is this gaming pipeline so crucial? Because it directly turns digital players into real-world, highly engaged fans. People who play these games are 45% more likely to watch 3 or more live matches a week, and 55% more likely to actually go out and play soccer themselves. Digital play is literally transforming into physical passion.
Next up, diversity and demographic impact.
YouGov data reveals something incredibly interesting about who exactly these fans are. A massive 56% of avid soccer fans in the US are between 18 and 34 years old. Think about that for a second. More than half of the fan base is made up of young adults. By comparison, that age group only makes up 30% of the general US population. This proves the surge is overwhelmingly driven by the youth, making soccer one of the very few major sports that's actually more popular with today's youth than with older generations.
We also absolutely have to highlight the pivotal role of the Hispanic community in this explosion of fandom. U.S. Hispanics make up 30% of the entire MLS fan base. On top of that, there are roughly 60 million fans of the Mexican national team right here within the U.S. This deep, pre-existing cultural connection to the sport has built an incredibly strong and passionate foundation that's heavily influencing mainstream American sports culture today.
And then, of course, there's the Messi effect. Lionel Messi arriving at Inter Miami caused a massive acceleration in this growth. His arrival didn't just deepen the loyalty of the core youth and Hispanic fan bases, it also migrated his own personal global fans straight over to MLS. The data shows that since 2023 alone, he's added 3 million brand new soccer fans aged 35 and older. He has completely bridged that generational gap.
Economically speaking, this is very distinctly a middle-class movement. 51% of fans fall right into the middle-income bracket, which is notably higher than the national average of 41% for that group. This really shows that soccer's appeal in America is widespread and accessible. It's not just a niche luxury sport, and it's not exclusively an urban grassroots game. It has planted itself squarely in the middle of American life.
The data goes beyond just age and income, too. Sociological survey data from universities highlights a historical culture war divide. According to the research, political affiliation historically influenced how the sport was viewed. Liberals tended to embrace soccer as a positive reflection of globalization and diversity, whereas conservatives traditionally resisted it, viewing it as a challenge to traditional American sports. It's fascinating because these surveys show how a sport can act as a mirror for larger cultural and political shifts in the country.
Finally, our last section, looking ahead to 2026.
According to the Harris Poll, 52% of Americans say that simply hosting the upcoming 2026 World Cup on home soil is already making them bigger fans of the game. The hype is already real. People who might never have paid attention to a soccer pitch before are getting invested because the biggest global event in the world is coming right to their backyard.
We are no longer just imitating European leagues or waking up at 7 a.m. to watch the Premier League. Soccer is now organically embedded in local culture. It's gone from imported to embedded. When you see Atlanta United or Charlotte FC drawing crowds of 70,000 fans to their stadiums, they aren't pretending to be European. They are celebrating their own authentic North American community identity.
Jennifer Musil, the global head of research at the Harris Poll, has a great quote about how this upcoming tournament is turning passive observers into active fans. She says, "That's not just a sports story, it's a signal about how major cultural moments reshape consumer behavior." And this brilliantly illustrates why understanding this journey matters for all of us. It's a fundamental shift in how the next generation connects, consumes media, and forms their identity.
I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. We've seen how digital habits, gaming, and changing demographics have already pushed soccer past baseball today. But if the culture has shifted this much already, what does the American sports landscape actually look like after the final whistle blows at the 2026 World Cup? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the pitch.